Welcome to the Imperial Brickz YouTube channel. It's Nixter here, and in this video we're going to be going through all of the minifigures that I'm currently still missing from the TCS display. I add new minifigures every week with a weekly episode on Fridays, so if you guys want to see what's being added to the display, make sure you subscribe and go check out those videos. As for the figs that I don't have, there's a couple different categories a figure could be in. There are official minifigures that LEGO has made that I just haven't purchased yet. There are minifigures or characters that LEGO has not made that don't exist at all. And then there are the minifigures that are custom that do exist, I just haven't been able to get my hands on them. So starting at the top left, we're missing Queen Amidala. This is a figure that is unique to the game. It's different from the official LEGO figure, and I have not been able to get my hands on one. Two spots over, we're missing Padme from, I believe, episode 2, where she's wearing kind of like a magenta top. Moving along to the right, episode 2 Anakin. That's a figure where I just need to get a flesh-colored Anakin head. The rest of the parts are official, so hopefully won't be too long before I'm able to add him to the display. The next two spots are both Padme minifigures. The Geonosis Arena, or episode 2 Padme, there's the one where she looks normal with a cape, and then there's one where her top is ripped on the bottom like you see in the movie. And then the final figure that I'm missing on the top row is Chancellor Palpatine from episode 3 in the rescue scene where Anakin and Obi-Wan go and end up killing Count Dooku. On the second row, starting again from the left, the first figure that I'm missing is the Rebel Friend. This is a character that is only from the video games because they needed a player 2 for that mission, and I've just not been able to get my hands on that figure, but they do exist. The next figure would be the Tatooine Luke minifigure. That is, looks really similar to a lot of the official ones they've made, but it's not the same, and I've not yet seen a complete flesh-colored version or light nougat-colored version of that Luke Skywalker. On the other side of Obi-Wan, same story, but it's for the Han Solo wearing a white shirt. There is an official LEGO minifigure of Han Solo where he's wearing a tan undershirt, but that's not correct for the TCS games. And then next to that is the Stormtrooper Han Solo. I need to see if I should have one of those Stormtroopers available on my store, and I'll just pull the parts and get that added, hopefully in one of the next videos. Moving further along, you have the Cloud City Leia minifigure. She just needs a official flesh Leia or light nougat colored Leia head on a Cloud City torso. The torso alone is worth like $200, and it's an official part, so I know that eventually I'll be able to get my hands on it. I just kind of am reserving my funds for the custom minifigures that are far harder to come by, so that when I do come by them, I can actually purchase them on the spot. Moving more to the right, we're missing Bosch, that version of Leia, and I really just need the custom printed torso, but I don't think I've ever seen somebody who made that. On the third row, we are missing First Endor Han Solo. That figure I actually have on order from Christo, and we will be adding that to the display hopefully soon. I just don't have it in my hands yet. The Ewok minifigure, LEGO did make the classic Ewoks in that style, but they don't have the paint or the red hood and the eyes and the stitching on the hood. And for that reason, I'm holding off on adding just a plain blank Ewok to the display. Next to the Droideka, we are missing Captain Tarpals. That's basically the official LEGO print for those Gungan minifigures, but it needs to be on a light blue torso, kind of like the Lando torso, I think. And I just have not seen a pad printed version of that figure. Next to Boss Nass, I'm missing the Naboo Guard. That's another figure that I have on order from Christo, and I'm just waiting for it to come in the mail, so hopefully you'll be able to add that soon. Then next to Dexter, I skipped over the PK droid and the pit droid. And I also have to mention this about Dexter. Those 3 minifigs are resin printed and then they're painted. And I'm trying to go for all molded figures with pad printing on them. So those are kind of temporary placeholders for the time being. Next to Dexter, though, we're missing the... Actually, sorry, no, we skipped next to Padme. I'm missing Watto. That's an official Lego minifigure that again, it's $200. They're going to be on the market when I need to buy one. So again, just holding my funds for the custom ones right now. The next figure, though, the Phase 1 Clone Trooper. Somebody asked me if those are rare. They're not particularly rare yet, but they are hard to come by in mint condition. They only came out in 2 sets about 20 years ago now, and they're getting harder to find. Every one that I've ordered has come in with yellowing or some kind of marks or dirt, and I'm trying to get a clean one. So just, every once in a while I'll order one from a store and just see if I can get a clean one, and eventually we'll add that figure to the display. Next to that, between the Phase 1 Clone Trooper and the Geonosian, are the 2 Kaminoans. I have not seen any pad-printed versions of the Kaminoans, unfortunately, but again, when I do, I'll buy them right away. Moving on to the 4th row, next to the Super Battle Droid, I'm missing Jango Fett. That's a figure that we're going to be talking a little bit more about in another TCS video, but the official one isn't quite there yet. Almost perfect, but not perfect enough, so still nothing there. Next to Kit Fisto, we've got Shaak Ti and Aayla Secura, 2 figures that, there are very few actually really high quality models of these figures floating around. They're very, very expensive when they do become available, and I've not been able to get my hands on one so far, but hopefully soon I will be able to. Next to Count Dooku, I'm missing the Magna Guard. That's the General Grievous Guard, and the head I've not seen in pad-printed form. The torso technically doesn't exist, but I think you could kind of get away with using the official Magna Guard torso. Unless you want to split hairs, you could say, it's never going to get made otherwise. Moving on, though, next to Mace Windu, missing the disguised Clone Trooper. That's a figure that's all official Lego parts, except for you need the light nougat colored version of the Jango Fett head, and that's something that I've not been able to get my hands on yet. And next to that would be the Rebel Trooper. That's another figure that has been made, and they just rarely come available on the market, and when one does, I will scoop it up and add it to the display. Moving down to the 5th row, next to the Imperial Spy, I am missing the Beach Trooper. That's a figure that has been made and is so sought after that I don't think I've ever seen a Beach Trooper torso available on the market, because if it did become available, it'd be surely cheap enough for myself to be able to afford it, and I just don't ever see them available. Next to the Beach Trooper, we're missing the Death Star gunner, or the Death Star laser operator, I think is the cut scene you see them in. The helmet for that figure, as well as the head, do not exist. And then moving down next to the Snow Trooper, you've got the Luke Skywalker wearing the kind of custom helmet mold that they made for the game. Again, that's something that I've never seen, so I've got to wait until somebody makes that. And then next to not Forlom, man, I confused this before. Next to Lobot is the Ugnaught. That's a character that Lego has made official versions of, but they don't look like the one from the game. The head mold from Lego is really similar, though, so I think if you got somebody to print the TCS style onto that head mold, you could pass it off for that figure. But that's something that I have yet to actually see be done. Finally, on the last row in the bottom left corner, we're missing the Rancor Trainer. I'm not sure if that's the official name for the character, but it's basically the Lando Calrissian skiff torso with just printed on a light nougat torso, and then I actually do have the head for that figure, weirdly enough. It accidentally got sent to me by a custom seller, and I had that, but I need the rest of the fig before I add that to the display. And then next to Boba Fett is the second Ewok. I believe that one does not have a name. And it just has a brown hood, but again, still missing the eye and kind of stitching print on top of the head. So waiting for either somebody to paint one of those and make it look good, or somebody to pad print one of those and same deal, make it look good. But I've yet to see that. Next to Emperor Palpatine, we've got the Admiral Akbar minifigure. This is a character that I did at one point have the Bo-Katan Brickz version of this figure, but I believe we will be getting a Christo version of the Admiral Akbar, and I'm just going to end up trying to get that when it becomes available. Next to Dengar, we have Forlom. Actually, for real this time, Forlom. And hopefully we'll be able to add him to the display soon. If you haven't seen my Yoda Force Ghost video, make sure you go check that out. And then we've got the two Force Ghosts that I'm missing. Obi-Wan and Anakin, of course. I would like them to match, right? So like if somebody makes an Anakin Force Ghost and it's a different color blue from the Yoda, I don't know which figure I'll keep or add to the display, but I'm trying to get them as like a trio, right? I want them all to match. And that's it. I do need to add 2 custom minifigures to the display. Not entirely sure what I'm going to do yet, but they will be customized. I'm not going to add the I'm not going to add the Sacy Tin, and I won't be adding the Asajj Ventress because I never really played as those characters in the game, and they just don't have any, I don't have any nostalgia for those characters. So if I can get my hands on them, I'll add them to a separate display, but for now we're going to be trying to get some actual custom figures in the display. So that's all for now. Hopefully you guys enjoy this kind of content. If you did, be sure to leave a like, subscribe for more, and of course, if you're new here, make sure you go check out ImperialBrickz.com for all your official LEGO Star Wars minifigure needs.